bustani yenye raha, raha, tutaimba wimbo wa Musa na kondo milele hata milele. In that destination where we are headed, that is where we are going to meet our Jesus. So between where the point that we are right now and the point that we will meet our Jesus and sit with him and sing with him milele and milele with happiness, there is a journey that you need to face here. And along this journey, there are things that are expected of us to behave as Christians, kama ni watoto, to behave as children who portray the love of God. If you are adults, you are supposed to be living sermons to those who are done what? Who are out there and who have not believed. Now listen, this is the expectation. Mimi kama mtoto, nimekaa kwa kanisa miaka 3. Ama nimekaa kwa kanisa miaka 5. Kwa hii miaka 5 nimekuwa nikipaliliwa. Kupaliliwa namna gani? Tumekuwa na VBS this year, si ndio children? Have we had VBS? Good. Adults, we are going to be having a camp meeting around August, right? We usually have the elders in the house, the church leaders in the house. We usually have spiritual weeks of emphasis, maybe ni spiritual week of emphasis, stewardship week. We usually have such weeks, ndio? All those ni kupaliliwa ambayo tunapaliliwa sisi kama Wakristo, so that you can be able to have enough strength and bear. Is it bear ama bo? Produce enough fruits that people can eat. And by eating those fruits, they can be able to be drawn closer to Christ. So these efforts that the church imeka in place, whether in VBS for children, whether in camp meeting meant for children, whether in camp meeting meant for adults, whether it's weeks of evangelism, stewardships, weeks of emphasis, and all those, that could be fertilizer, that could be the water, and that could be the weeding that is being done to you. And probably somewhere, Christ has been crying and saying, "Pair to elder, just one more year. This one more year, I am going to put mechanisms in place so that we will have weeks of emphasis. Maybe he will change. Ama pair huyo mtoto wa Pathfinder, just give him one more year. So that by that one more year, I'll put in place VBSs. I'll put in place a certain preacher to come and speak and deliver a message. And if that 1 year elapses, kama huyu mtoto bado hajabadilika, then feel free to do what? To cut them down. So I want to remind us that we are on a journey. And in this journey, as we live it, whether you are a kid or an adult, you are expected to do what? Produce fruits. And people need to eat those fruits that come from you so that they can be able to be drawn to Christ. But if you're not going to produce fruit, then maybe your probation is going to be cut short. Someone is seriously pleading for just one more year for you so that you can be able to change. So I want to request us to be intentional about transforming so that you can be able to do what? Produce those fruits that are expected of us. Because at the end of that 1 year, maybe it could be 2 years for you, maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years, but at the end of that point, you'll be in a position to do what? To produce fruits. Now, I want to bring another aspect in. Now, from the side of the parents, as our role, the part that we should be playing, one of the major parts that we should be playing in making this travel of faith to be smooth for our children. There's a statement, I don't know where I read it, whether it's Adventist Home or Solemn Appeal, or yeah, it should be one of those. Inasema, it's your duty to make home as attractive as possible. This is of greater importance than to acquire estates and money. Home must not lack sunshine. Let me tell you why I'm bringing up this information. Because in the Christian journey, as a child grows from age 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 upwards, or even you, as you age, you need to be refilled. Sometimes you do something, you know the feeling that you feel after, let's say you go to Nairobi CBD, umezunguka kama una hustle in Nairobi town. You hustle the whole day, there's a lot of noise, a lot of traffic, a lot of pollution, and then you go back in the evening to your home and sit, maybe with some cool music, ama no music at all, with some maybe, naitwaje? What is this thing called? AC. You have your AC or something. There's a way that you feel relaxed. You re-energize yourself. You refill yourself. That is what our homes are supposed to be to our kids. Our kids are young. They go to school. They go out to play. They meet a lot of challenges. And they tire easily. And they are prone to making mistakes because they encounter a lot of characters. And at the end of the day, they need to go back to a place where they feel loved. They need to go back to a place where they feel comfortable. And if there's a feeling, right now, I'm turning 26 years very soon, in a few weeks. And bado nikienda home to my parents, when I am coming back, there's a feeling of some sort of sadness. I'm leaving a place in and I feel comfortable. Now, I may not cry venye nilikuwa nalia nikiwa class 8 kurudi boarding ama form 1, but there's that detachment. Do I call it detachment? There's that sorrowness in a calm because I'm feeling like I have left somewhere that is lovely. Now, that is how we are supposed to make a home feel like to our kids. Most of you parents, most of you, even the ambassadors, the youth who are inside here who are listening right now, you can agree with me. If you are not brought up this way, maybe you have seen someone mwenye amekuwa brought up this way. When you're punishing your child, wazazi wenye wako in the room, unamchapa maybe amekosea kitu fulani, ama hata si kumchapa, you quarrel, ni kelelesha. Let me use kelelesha. Unamkelelesha. And then you ask that child a question. Alafu, once you ask that child a question, aanze kukupea jibu. Sometimes you'll find, no, don't, acha niache kutumia sometimes. Let me use a direct example. Kama wewe ni mzazi wangu, utaanza kunikelelesha, ukiniambia makosa yenye nimefanya, and then uniulize swali. Like a follow-up question on the mistake yenye nimefanya. And then nikianza kukujibu, utaniambia, Amaza, unajibu nani? Have you guys had such an encounter? Kama wewe hujafanyia mtoto wako, maybe umeona mtu akifanyia mtoto wake hivyo. Like, umeniuliza swali, nataka kukujibu, but nikianza kujibu ni kama I'm being what? Rude. So, you realize a child will grow up that way, knowing that when I'm talking, wakati an elder is talking to me, the right thing to do is to quiet. Whether ananiuliza swali ama anything, I'm not supposed to do what? To give a response. Now for this child, fast forward, we had even for therapy to help such a child who sort out a problem yenye ako nayo. For instance, amekuwa maybe assaulted, let's say, God forbid, sexually, and you there as a parent, you want to get one-on-one with the child and see whether you can be able to help him. But asking this child a question, but haizi kujibu. Why? Mbona? Anajua yeye hafai kufanya nini? Kujibu mkubwa wake. So he's still trying to process the childhood traumas and such. So I want us also to learn that such incidences are not supposed to be happening in a lovely home. Let the children know that response can be given in a respectful manner. And let the parents also know that you can get response still in a respective manner. So our strive as parents or as young as siblings is that we're supposed to make home a beautiful place. Home, a place of what? Of sunshine. Because these things play a key role in the journey of a child as he grows. Hatuwezi kuwa tunasema hapa, travel with faith, but without no practical acts to support the journeys of our kids. So that is basically it. So the first thing, let's make home a place of sunshine. And then the second thing, let's be intentional about producing the fruits that are going to attract others to Christ. The reason why I gave that verse is that those acts that you are putting in place to either produce those fruits or to make home a place of sunshine, you are not supposed to tire about those acts. Whether it's in the morning when you feel like you have enough strength to make home a good place of sunshine, or late in the evening when you have a lot of stress and pressure, you are not supposed to tire. Always strive to make home a place of sunshine, and always strive to make sure you're producing those fruits and that child is producing those fruits. I think that is basically the end of my sharing. So I'll welcome additions. You can comment or ask a question along the same. Yes. Please feel free. Making home a place of sunshine. You can give insights or ask questions. I can see a number of adults around. Yes, Abimon. Please be teacher Abimon.
A research was done, and it was found out that most people don't have a reason of going home. Most Africans, when they get out of the country, or even look at yourself, when you get out of your home, najua wengi wetu we were not born around Embakasi. You don't find an urge of going back home. And it is so okay for you to just go a day, come back. That even most of us are living in our workplaces and visiting our homes.
Sadly.
It was found out that the reason as to why most of us don't find value visiting home is because we don't have home in those houses. Some kids find home, church is their home. Allow me to speak from the kid's perspective. There is a kid, whenever we are having our programs, utapata that majority of the kids don't long to go home. Mtoto ako zile za, sasa tumemaliza practice. Because of why they are going back home, nobody is going to listen to them. Nobody is going to appreciate them. Nobody is going to value them in whatever way. That goes without saying that we are having a lot of problems in our families. I'm not a family life speaker, but we have got problems whereby most of us don't feel like going home because there is no home in that very thing. How I pray that we may find a true definition of what a home is. A place where you can find peace. A place where you are appreciated. I think I was holding some workshop with, I was an attendee, I think, with some men, Siemens conference. But something came out clear that most men have become worse by what they are told. Let me give you an example. You go to your home whereby niwe unalipa rent, the food in the house, and even the loose monies that are found around, za kununua nyanya hapa na pale. You are not good in keeping those loose coins, but somebody is keen enough to keep the coins and buy some plates here and there. So, then this lady, the wife of the house, said to the man, yani wewe hata kununua sahani hauwezi sahau ukuje nayo. You get? This man, he was giving his testimony and he said that from that day I saw that nothing I do is appreciated. And from that day I stopped doing anything because I can't do anything. The same goes with our kids. If you tell this kid, again nimeanza child development hapa. If you tell the kid, wewe hakuna kitu yenye unaweza, this kid will end up not able to do anything. But when this kid comes to church and teachers come, tells the kid, you know what, you can do it. Iyo memory verse umeshika vizuri. Where do you think this kid will long to be?
Church.
In the church. You are at your workplace. Everybody is appreciating your work. Na nyumbani, nobody is appreciating what you are doing. Where will you long to be?
Work.
Work. So that is why most of us will end up living in our workplaces, visiting our homes. Home is losing the value, the sense of a home, because we have made it lose it. How I pray that being Adventists, we have a lot of resources that we may employ ourselves into building homes that can be appreciated. A place whereby somebody, yani ila time yenye mtu anatoka kwa nyumba, ana wish itafika jioni saa ngapi nifanye nini? Nirudi. Let us not make it a place whereby somebody is counting hours towards skills. Yani, tena ninaenda huko. Itafika asubuhi lini? Nirudi? Job. May God bless us.
Think learn to break the chains. If things were not okay as a parent, you know, please listen to this as a what? As from the books. Because I'm not married, I don't have kids. But we live in a system where we see these things. We have learned about these things, but we have failed to implement them. So if you're in a position as a parent, or as a sibling, or as a young couple, in a position where you can be able to break these chains that have been in place, please break the chains. Someone was also telling me that nowadays, even as fathers, you want to show love to your child by you are overcompensating for the times that you're not around. You at work a lot, shughuli one. You spend minimal time with your child, but you want to overcompensate by maybe buying him a lot of gifts, unnecessary gifts, while the child needs your presence and your attention. These children, they need your presence, both physically and spiritually, so that they can be able to be strong in this travel of faith. Another addition or question. Please, I have to have someone speak from the local church. Msiseme nimekuja kwa lecture on weird things. So please, and one lady to speak, and then we close it. Yes, please. Mpeleke mic huko. And then we'll have one lady. Yes, please proceed.
I'm listening to a conversation that is bringing in a blame game. Who is this that is causing trouble in the home? That people don't want to go there. But conversely, some homes are very peaceful when you are not there. Yeah, when you are not home, some of us, the home is so peaceful and so good until you arrive.
Sile Hezekia alikuwa na akawa katika hali ya kufa, na Isaya nabii mwana wa Amosi akaenda nyumbani mwake mfalme. Siku ile Hezekia alikuwa na akawa katika hali.
As long as we finish, teacher, please help me bring the kids inside.
Happy Sabbath.
Happy day.
I also want to appreciate